old are you? Is it worth to move to Rome? Where did you grow up? Do you feel scared moving alone? How did you build your personal confidence? If I were to move to Rome, what area should I live in? How do you find the courage? How were you able to grow on YouTube so quickly? What do you do when you feel lost? What do you want to work with after you graduate? What do you think the purpose is in life? Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and this week's video. I a few weeks ago asked a question on Instagram, or I did like what questions you have for me, so like a kind of a Q&A. I thought now it's a great time for me to answer those. I'm finally done with this semester and I'm actually flying back to Italy just in a few days. By the way, we found so many nice shells. How nice is this one? And this one? These are all empty. I want to make a necklace out of this one. So I have all the questions on my computer because I transferred them from the IG story. Let's go for the basics first and then we'll unravel the longer questions. First question is, how old are you? I'm 27. I'm born on the 22nd of August and I'm turning 28 this year, so I'm born in 97. Second question, where did you grow up? I feel like I've answered this, but I'll do it quickly. So I'm born in Rome. I grew up in Sweden. I moved there when I was 4 years old. And I grew up in this smaller city outside of Stockholm called Uppsala. I stayed there until shortly after high school. I moved to Stockholm quite after. It's very close, it's like 30 minutes by train. But yeah, basically I grew up in Sweden. That's the short answer. Do you ever feel a sense of non-belonging in Italy as you're half Nordic? Well, technically I'm actually only 1/4 Nordic, but I have double citizenship. I can have an Italian passport, but I never had one. I've always had a Swedish one. So technically I think like culturally, also like my apartment is in Sweden, all my friends are in Stockholm. So culturally, I'm probably more Swedish than at least the average Italian. But I never felt a sense of non-belonging. And I think that the reason for that is because I speak Italian and I've always been in Italy for longer parts of the years, or like during my life, ever since I was young. No, the short answer to the question is no, I don't ever feel a sense of non-belonging. Have you ever been to France? Love your videos. Yes, I love France. I've been quite a lot in France in the past. I've been to most of the places on the Côte d'Azur. I'd love to visit other places. Really, the reason why I could see myself move to France someday is because I want to learn French, like, as you know. It's also the perfect opportunity to introduce this week's collaboration, which again is with Lingoda. Yes, we're back because honestly it's the most ideal way if you want to learn a new language. If you have a trip coming up or there's some place you are moving to and you want to get a good head start of learning the language. Remind you how Lingoda works. There's something called the Lingoda Sprint, which is a 60-day challenge that basically ensures that you stay consistent and committed to your language study. You commit to take classes either every day or every other day for 2 months, which is a structure that helps you really stay consistent and towards your goal. It's designed to ensure that you continue to stay classes because honestly, learning a language, it's so much practice. Like the theory only gets you half the way. You really have to practice and make it a part of your routine. So if you want to have real progress, I would try out Lingoda. You can use my code below for 20 euros off if you sign up. And if you're serious about learning a new language and want to fast track your progress, do check it out and let me know how it goes. And of course, if you have any questions, also let me know. Okay, so let's go back to the Q&A. What's your 3 big zodiac signs? Okay, so according to the app, I have my sun in Leo, my moon in Aries, my ascendant in Cancer. But according to actual like map, then I'm the ascendant in Leo, so I'm a double Leo. It's one of those, either Leo or Cancer in the ascendant. You guys who know about those steps, you do your magic and you let me know what it means. Hair routine. Well, you guys, click here and you have one. So I've gotten a lot of questions about like living abroad, traveling, living in Italy. So I've kind of combined a lot of questions into shorter ones. But the first one is, do you feel scared moving alone? How do you find the courage? And I've never felt scared of moving because I've moved my entire life. I feel like I was born somewhere and then I moved when I was quite young. So I feel like that process of relocating is like kind of integrated in my identity. And it doesn't always have to be for like a long period. And I think that's maybe an answer to the question like where you can find courage is to not see it as like a permanent thing, but you can see it as like a temporary thing. You can try it out. The best advice is always you can always move back. A lot of questions about living in Rome. The first one is, if I were to move to Rome, what area should I live in? I think if you're moving to Rome and you're not planning on having a scooter or a car, I think that depends a lot, because then you would be dependent on the metro, and currently there's only 2 metro lines. There's buses, of course, but it depends a bit on how you're planning to get around. Rome is very big and all the areas are very detached from each other, so if you don't have any transportation of your own, I would figure that part out first. Of course, if you live very central, you can walk. That's the biggest like privilege where we're living, and of course I'm a bit partial because I do love that area. The downside is that it doesn't have a metro, so you either get around by scooter, car, or you walk, which I do a lot. It also depends on if you have like a specific place to go, like work. It can get very congested with traffic. So but these are my favorite areas. We live in Pinciano, which is a part of Parioli. Parioli is the northern part of Rome. I love that area because it's so beautiful. It's close to this central, you can walk. It's close to Villa Borghese, a lot of green areas, but it's not so crowded at all, you know, so it's more of a local neighborhood. I also really like Prati, which is a bit more central. It's close to the Vatican, and there you also have the metro, which is very convenient. Another area that's very central, it can get very congested, it's Monti, which I also really like. In the southern part of Rome, you do have the option of living in Trastevere. Not my personal favorite area, just because there's so much people. It's an area I personally like more going to for going out or drinking or eating. Behind Trastevere, there's Monteverde Vecchio and also Monteverde Nuovo, but Monteverde Vecchio, in my opinion, is just because it's older, the houses are nicer, but Monteverde Nuovo is also a very nice area. I think Nomentana is kind of good as well, especially the southern part. It's kind of close to where we're living. It's very nice as well. I got this question a lot. It's kind of a follow-up, and is it worth to move to Rome? I'm afraid it's only picture perfect. Is it realistic? What advice would you give? I think it's hard for me to answer because I moved to Rome from like a different like angle. I have family in Rome, like my dad lives there. As a foreigner coming to Rome, it depends. Like if you do an exchange, I think it's amazing because it is the most beautiful city in the world. If you plan on working in Italy, it's very hard to find a job, so maybe not super realistic. I'm also not a realistic person. Like, you know, I just do whatever I want. Like if I would want to move somewhere and it wasn't realistic, I would find a way to make it realistic, you know. I would find a way, but it's a very chaotic and very bustling city, and you will get like in tune with it, but just be open to that it's not gonna work like Northern European countries. Like it's probably gonna be a bit of a culture shock. The other side, it is the most beautiful city. There's nothing like it. The food, the people, the weather, the streets, it's like an open air museum. So, you know, for me, I've always valued that more, and I feel like I can try to find a place to live where I can walk or, you know, get a scooter. I mean, honestly, I think that's the best thing you can do, is getting a scooter and learn how to ride it really well, and then you'll be fine. You find your way if you want to do something. I think having like a career in Rome and a perfect apartment and a perfect life, like that's not gonna happen probably. But if you can be a bit more, you know, go with the flow and a bit more, you know, why not? Just do it. And if you don't like it, move back. Okay, we're switching gears a bit. And the first one was, how were you able to grow on YouTube so quickly, and any advice for new YouTubers? And honestly, I don't know myself. Like, I think I just posted my first vlog and just went with the flow, and you guys found me somehow, which I'm super thankful. So my advice is just to do it and just continue to do things that you find fulfilling to yourself. Try to not compare yourself too much to other people. I think it's a great way of getting inspiration, but I personally try to not look too much at what other people are doing and just do things that feel natural to me, because otherwise I feel like you very quickly get into a loop of like not wanting to create because you become very hard on yourself and maybe look to other people and be like, oh, but they're doing like this, then that means I need to do it like this. No, just don't look at what other people are doing and just do things that feel good for you. What are your favorite content creators, people that inspire you? I'm gonna list them here. These are people that I take style inspiration from, that I've been following on Instagram for a long time. I'm very picky with influencers. who I follow, because I feel like a lot of them just contribute to this like unrealistic portrayal of life that's just so tiring. So I'm very picky, but these are some that I really enjoy for a long time, or some of them are perhaps a bit newer. My secret is that I don't watch vlogs myself, which is, I know, kind of maybe ironic. The only one I've been following for years is Emma Chamberlain, and I do love her and everything she stands for, and I think she's such a fresh, you know, breath of air. If you could give one advice to your younger self, what would that be? Let it go. How did you build your personal confidence? I've always been super confident, like ever since I was young, probably because I'm a bit delusional. And I think that's how you build personal confidence. Like, first you have to stop caring what other people think, because as long as you care what people's opinions are about you, it's gonna be hard to find motivation, because you're gonna doubt yourself in everything. So first, don't give a shit about anyone but yourself. And I say this like truly, that you have to stop caring what other people think in order to start caring for yourself, and that will result in you also caring for other people that actually matter to you. Okay. And the second one is be delusional for real. Like, do believe that anything is possible. Visualize it. Like, I think I've been visualizing a lot of things ever since I was young. I did it always when I was falling asleep, and to be honest, it kind of worked, and I think it worked subconsciously, so it's not even been like an active, you know, spiritual practice or anything. I think I've just done it subconsciously. Stop caring what other people think and be delusional, and then just do whatever feels right to you. That's how I have confidence in everything I do. I think the fourth one is stop taking yourself so seriously. Life isn't that serious. Like, it just do whatever you want, you know. And these four things are what builds my personal delusional confidence every day, and it has for my entire life, and I've never questioned it. What do you think the purpose is in life? And I'm gonna, like, I don't think there's a better way to explaining it than this quote. Basically, the purpose of life is doing what you need to do to prevent yourself from killing yourself. No, but truly, that's what I think the purpose is in life, because that basically encapsulates the whole idea of meaningful to you. And as long as you do that, then that's the meaning to your life. I don't know. I don't make the rules. What do you do when you feel lost? I overanalyze a lot. Like, I live in my head. When I feel lost or when I don't feel aligned with myself, I live rent-free in my head, which is an issue, and then I overanalyze it a lot with my friends, and usually I can get some type of clarity. I don't feel lost a lot just because I'm always moving, I guess. So if something is not working for me, I just disregard it and I go for the next thing, because I think also reason that you might find yourself feeling lost is because also you with that become kind of paralyzed, so you don't do anything because maybe you're scared of trying something, and so you get stuck. For me, I've always moved very fast, like from job to education to city. I've usually just, you know, done as much as I can to like gather all the information I need in order to make a decision of like, do I want to continue this or do I want to abandon this? And if I decide to abandon something or a pursuit, then at least I know that wasn't for me and I move on. So that technically kind of hinders me from feeling lost, because I always am moving towards something that feels authentic to me. But it is a process, and it's not something that you're gonna figure out like that. It's something that I've been doing. I think I started doing that when I was like after high school. I just start to like, okay, what do I want to do right now? Like, what is my goal? And I go for that. And if it doesn't feel right in my heart and in my soul, then I just let it go and I move on to the next thing. And you know, for me, I do feel like I'm moving towards my purpose. Like, I think my art history degree already is pushing me towards the life that I think I'm meant to live. But you never know, you know? So yeah, I don't know if that was the answer to the question, but what I do when I feel lost, I keep moving. The downside of that is sometimes that I make rash decisions. So I try to compensate not changing too much or being too irrational or like too stressed with giving myself more time to gain clarity. You also don't want to give up. It should not be the reason for letting something go. Messy answer, but I just make sure to try a lot of things and evaluate them, and if I don't like them, I don't stick with them just because I should. What is your dream job, and what your plans are post-master, and like what do you want to do, like what do you want to work with after you graduate? Like, first of all, sis, I don't want to work. Does anybody want to work? I don't think so.
I hate working. Doesn't everybody though? Like,
I have like basically two paths. I don't think I'm ever gonna go back to working in an office or at an agency or in-house for a brand, at least not now. I think I'm gonna continue in that sense of working freelance. I think that's what suits my schedule the best, especially now that I'm studying. So I don't think I'm gonna go back to like a corporate job in a sense. So that leaves me to two paths basically after graduating: either continue in academics and pursue a PhD in art history, or I'm gonna do something completely different, maybe still creative, but I want to own it completely myself, and I want to do like I want to decide. So then that would lead me into doing my own company basically. I don't want to someone else in that sense. I am open to working for someone else when doing research, of course, because I think that work is so independent anyways. But me as a person, I'm not super dependent on having like a fixed schedule or a fixed workplace or having colleagues. I work very well independently, and I think that's why research and working in academics, and maybe even in the future like along the road teaching, because it's still like kind of independent work, and you do get to do something that you are passionate about, and you can move around again, which I've talked about. It's important for me to be able to live where I want to live and not have a set place that I need to go to all the time. I'm leaning towards one of those. We'll see. That was it. Thank you guys for staying to the end with me. I'm going back to Italy, as I said, next week. So finally, I think we're gonna go back to my my every week posting routine. I know it's been a bit flop now. It's just been a lot, honestly, living in Japan, but I've enjoyed every single minute of it. It's been the best experience of my life so far, and I'm still in Japan, and I'm already thinking about how I find my way back here. But yeah, I'm also excited to go back to Europe and have a bit of a European summer. So yeah, but thank you guys, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you enjoyed this, and now that you maybe know me a bit better. Bye!